Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There's a long list of salutations which I shall not repeat, but I must acknowledge the presence of the Honorable Anthony Garcia, Minister of Education, the High Commissioner of India, Arun Kumar Sahu, and of course, Professor Kenneth S. Julian, TC. I would say all other protocols having been established, I will start my greetings. If I fall asleep at the podium, somebody please come and wake me up. Since Panorama have been dropping people back to the airport up to 4 o'clock this morning, so I haven't had much sleep for the last couple of days. So as I say, if I fall asleep, I tend to fall asleep standing like a horse sometimes. So somebody will come and wake me up if I pause for too long. It is a pleasure. By the way, I'm always giving my written speech and I always divert from the speech. But because I didn't have time to divert too much in my mind, I'll read some of it. It is my pleasure to deliver greetings at today's launch of the National Robotics Design Challenge being spearheaded by the University of Trinidad and Tobago through its Design and Manufacturing Engineering Unit. Robotics is part of one of the new buzzwords, artificial intelligence. We hear about it more these days, but artificial intelligence really started to be spoken about almost 50 years ago by 4 people who were part of a workshop in the United States. In 1956, I think the year was. It's around the same time that modern electronics was developed, first in Japan. Now, it has gone through several stages, ebbs and flows, if you like, where it was first thought that it would change the world in 20 years. That didn't happen. Support for it decreased, and then support for it, of course, has increased in the last few years. Mainly because of the developments in ICT, information and computer technology. As we know, we have what is called big data today, which can be used to solve problems by supercomputers and so on. But from time immemorial, people have been thinking of sort of artificial intelligence, artificial human beings. Some of you may have heard of the novel Frankenstein, written by Mary Shelley of England 100 years ago, more than 100 years ago. Frankenstein is not the name of the creature, by the way. Frankenstein is the name of this mad doctor who created a monster. There was really no name for the monster, but we tend to think Frankenstein is that monster that was created. And Frankenstein is what we call today, the word today, an android. A fake human being, we can say fake these days, we talk about fake news. So a fake human being, an artificial person. And then throughout the last 50 years, we have had movies. I saw a movie when I studied in England in 1977, 2001, A Space Odyssey, where we had the robot HAL 9000. HAL went off and got a little mad and wanted to kill the people on the ship. Fortunately, he was dysfunctioned, so to speak, and he wasn't able to do any damage. Now, some people, including the famous physicist who died not so long ago, Stephen Hawking from England, and the Elon Musk, the very progressive, very rich engineer and entrepreneur, have in fact expressed their concerns and fears that at some time in the future, if we are not very careful, artificial human beings, robots, will become more intelligent than humans, they will self-replicate and they could destroy us if they are so minded. So there are people, very big people, who have expressed fears about what this whole question of artificial intelligence. And we think of robots as just people, but robots are not just people, of course. Robots are any device that operates functions that human beings do and previously did. So it is very important. It's like stem cell research, and like cloning. We have to make sure that we have the right ethical safeguards for all these new technologies that we are developing. Now, I'm way off my script there. Way off my script. I didn't have enough time to really sleep. I was too sleepy this morning to try to read any speech or so. But we cannot stop the developments that are taking place, whether it is biotechnology or whether it is in ICT, information and computer technology. We can't stop it. The whole question of the fourth industrial revolution, 4.0 as it's called, and the Internet of Things, where we are so interconnected. We are so interconnected through our computers that we saw what Mr. Snowden was able to reveal of the spying that the United States did. And I read very recently that China broke into one of the credit rating companies in the United States and was able to get the data of over 150 million people in the United States. That's almost half the population. So there's no doubt that we have to be very careful, we have to put safeguards, but we cannot stop the march of technology. And we in Trinidad and Tobago have to be part of that march. We have to join that band, that marching band, if you like. So you students, one of the major instruments, one of the things that brings out the creativity and the innovation and the passion in people is competition. So this design challenge is called, I suppose they didn't want to use that dirty word, competition. For schools, it's something that we hope will ignite the passion I'm talking about, the innovation, the creativity in you, and we will try to suppress the memories of all these bad robots and bad fake people, bad monsters that we have seen in the movies. There are plenty of movies, I've seen many of them. I'm sure all of us have seen the Terminator with Arnold Schwarzenegger, yes? Arnold Schwarzenegger subsequently became the governor of California, so he's called the Governator. Governor and Terminator. And we have seen many of them. We first saw the Godzilla movies, and now there's the Mega Godzilla, a big robot, if you like, trying to destroy people. We spoke about HAL. There's Megatron from the Transformers. I'm sure many of you have seen these movies. I've seen almost all of them. So let us be guarded, as I say, in what we do, but let us ensure that we are not left behind and we follow, and not just follow, but as Professor Prasad said, let us believe in ourselves that we can lead in the development of these new technologies for the discovery of new industries, but also for the use of these new technologies to improve the competitiveness of our current industries. My profession for the last 40 years has been a lecturer at the university. I patterned myself after Professor Julian, and I lectured without notes. So I stood up in front of class and spoke for an hour, sometimes for 2 hours. So if you don't chase me off the stage, I'll keep you here until close to lunchtime. So I think I should end now and wish all of you the best of luck in this challenge. And thank you very much.